We're gonna start our morning routine.
End of the day, you're the start of a new one. Haven't slept a wink cause I'm out for the pink, purple, the blood clot blue one. Wait, green, ain't felt peace since a sweet 16, but I have felt pounds in my Levi jeans. AOT, always on time for the guap, young E, can't get no sleep, can't get no. End of the day, you're the start of a new one. Haven't slept a wink cause I'm out for the pink, purple, the blood clot blue one. Wait, green, ain't felt peace since a sweet 16, but I have felt pounds in my Levi jeans. AOT, always on time for the guap, young E, can't get no sleep, can't get no. Clock the drone, tryna do some recon. Need my money like base.
We're back. Just wrapped up from a nice 2-day workshop. We're coming back from Sacramento and San Jose. Super dope trip. It's a relaxing week for me, so I get to actually take some downtime, chill with the family, do some pottery, get some food, and just really just take it slow. You know, I'll be hanging out with my pup a lot more. But yeah, definitely want to break down what it's like to go through a slow week for me. So typically I tell people it's very important to make sure you're taking the time of day to take care of yourself so you can take care of the other people around you. One thing I used to do a lot, and I still do to this day, is overwork myself. I'll work till I feel like I have not much more to do. But I feel like for me, I've learned like the less you work sometimes, it's just giving yourself more time to rest and be better at what you do, you know? So for me, that's very important. So we're gonna walk through the week and then we'll show you what's good. All right, it's time to get the team some pizza. Haru, say what's up to the camera, bro. It's my boy Haru. He's my road dog. He holds shit down. He's the one that keeps me level-headed. It keeps me from losing my mind and also making sure I'm giving myself some time. But yeah, man, I'm gonna take this moment here to also kind of reflect on the trip. I just got back from San Jose and Sacramento. It was a great 2-day tour, very short. Typically tours, you're going back and forth, you're going from one city to another, you do the class and you travel, whether it's plane or you're driving. So they're very exhausting. And typically when I get back in the middle of the week. So for this week, I got back like Tuesday. So that takes away my Sunday, which is my chill day, where I don't do much. And then my Monday is where I kind of organize everything, where I do my meetings, I kind of take calls and kind of just organize my space. And then Tuesday or Wednesday is when I come back in and just I reorganize the actual Haru space. Today is actually the reset day, I'm sorry, and it's Friday. So I've really just been working back in the studio Wednesday and Thursday. So now I get some time. I had a cancellation, so I get some time to reorganize some stuff and kind of just get back in the flow of the week. And we kind of mob out from there. Alright, so let's hit up this pizza spot.
Split with the bros, forks in a place when I eat my woes. Bread gets broken and people get fed. Wallets open, no tears get shed. Heartbroken, can't reason with them. Loud little city, but it's home still. Out for the bread, no oatmeal. Talk on my brothers, mommy won't squill. Dunk for these like nil.
Nah, you're good, bro. How are you?
Yo, remember when she told me I should travel more? Now she message come home whenever I'm abroad. Let's have it right. Knocks the hot, let's check the Fahrenheit. So only makes sense they put the man in ice. A few new things, new chains, new rings. A new wallet cause my other joint was too thin. I'm making profit like a puppet cause I move strings. Now that's a puppeteer. Bro, who fucking cares? Waited for a couple years trying to let my peers flourish. But they ain't hold the flame to nuts and I'm just being honest. New song but they ain't no one that I hear run it. Got them all like Trump covering their ears from it. For me they throw a fist of power while they in the shower. Eyes closed with that iPhone trying to get louder. I heard your man them close the tabs and they quit the browser. Yo, but navigating through the scene is really like a maze. I know she liking what she sees, she trying to ride the wave. Trying to bring my family through this thing, I'm kinda like the Waynes. But Knox is the rock, I'm kinda like the Wayne. Nothing but my Johnson and my word in this mighty game. But niggas trying to break them like they swiping chains. I'm on their next with my next one if I can say. It's nothing like the last or as dark, it's kinda night and day. Still mourning the losses they decide to take. I eat my cake and just wait, another slice of cake. Old bros tried to desert me, now it's pie and face. Cause they were salty, not surprised they didn't like the taste. Take a pick, it lasts long, but this will make some hard.
We out of here. Welcome to Horror Concept, y'all. Come in. this is our CEO, Haru. He's the man behind the plan and also a big inspiration of this place. So yeah, we have our 2 barber chairs. At this point, we have 2 stations. We want to add a couple more. So the goal is to have like 4 to 5 barbers in here at one point. But for now, we're just going to make sure that we hold it down with the team that we have. So we have our 2 barber stations here. Both of these stations were custom made by us. Super in love with these, my favorite. And then these 2 barber chairs are by Takara Belmont, which is one of the most established and well-known retailers for barber chairs. They're all Japan made. So ideally for us is to make sure we have the best high quality equipment for our barbers and also for our clients. And then let's walk you over to our nail tech area. But yeah, this is a Sam station. This was not custom made by us, but we really love the aesthetic of it and it really suits the place really nicely. This is a Eames chair. I'm big fan of interior design. I love furniture. I love really unique pieces. So that's definitely a gem. I've had that for the last 2 years maybe. So I definitely love this piece. Yeah, this is our salon area. So we have hairs and nail at this point. So those are the biggest driving factors of our space and what brings people in. So this leads us to our next piece. We love this chair. This is one of our favorite chairs. It was designed by Andrew Doxter. This was custom made by us. He actually gives any instructions and also templates so you can make this on your own. So you can visit his website and get this made all on your own. I think for us, it's been a really unique piece that we have in our space, and it kind of continues to add to the industrial design that I love. And for me, it kind of all came from a place of when I grew up, I did construction a lot. My dad's a carpenter, so I've always loved to work with my hands, and I think that kind of points to why I do hair and also why I love like building things. And it also kind of connects to my education, like the workflow that I have. So all these things I've kind of been a big part of my design process and also a big part of who I am. But yeah, I love this piece. It adds a lot of taste, a lot of uniqueness to the space. And I think for me, that's been a big part of the way we sell this place and the way we brand ourselves. All right, so let's show you a couple other of my favorite pieces that I have in here. So let's grab this camera. The next favorite piece, we have the beautiful, this is my, actually funny thing, this is the first workstation that I actually designed. And it just didn't end up making sense for this side, only because it was too big. So I feel like it wasn't able to fit 2 of them together. So that kind of brought us to making it its own separate area, its own separate piece, which I love. We have the Haru concept logo engraved in there, as well as over here. So we'll get to that piece eventually. But yeah, these are also some of amazing pieces that we have from our friend in Argentina, the brand Not Quite. I actually love this brand, love the aesthetic it stands for. It really connects to us in the way that it's made, this beautiful, like almost like I would say movement, water, it has this very organic shapes, which I love. So that's also a brand that we sell inside of Haru Concept. So the next thing we have here are these mirrors. So these were actually custom made to fit within the curvature of the racks. We really love the textures that these have, and I think that was a big part of adding these as well. But yeah, this piece is actually a shelf slash bar from what the guy told me, but right now I have it as a chair because I want to use it as a waiting area. But yes, that is one of the most unique benches I've ever found. It was all custom made by an industrial designer. The guy that made this is actually makes storefronts for Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all these amazing brands. So the guy is amazingly talented. So we're blessed to have one of his pieces inside of this place. To be fair, it was his college project from what he told me, so he didn't care much about it. But for us, we love it. Main staple of the space. And this is our friend. We don't have a name for him, but he basically drips out all of the Haru concept closet pieces, which we have on this side. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the racks. So the clothing racks were a big part of this place. So the person before this, a good friend of mine, he actually ran a vintage store. So the reason that these are actually in here is because it was made to be a storefront over everything. So even if you look over here on this side, these are all meant to have clothes on it. But for us, I think it brings so much flavor to the place and so much uniqueness that I really love the way everything kind of comes together. Funny enough, we actually wanted to take them out. in the beginning. I just wasn't used to working with items that are like coming off the wall, if that makes sense. So basically any place that you go to, it has flat walls or it doesn't have anything on the walls. So you can kind of hang stuff and use a lot of like wall space to anchor and create shelves and things of that nature. So we didn't have much of that. So we kind of had to get really creative in the way that we laid this place out. And I think we got pretty close to what I wanted. Only things that we have to fix now, which is the next chapter or the next per se improvements that I want to make for this place, is going to be our retail area, which we'll talk about right now. All right, so let's talk about the infamous retail area. I would say infamous, like it's known, but this is the biggest part of the store per se, is bringing in this like lifestyle, like selling slash hair slash nails thing. So one thing I have been told, and I do notice this, is the fact that it doesn't give buy anything in this area. From what I've been told, it kind of gives dining room slash like eating area, which was the point. Ideally, we actually wanted to have a cafe here. So we have this table, which we wanted people to have their laptops, have their drinks, and just kind of chill and kind of work, but it takes away from the retail area. So that's actually been the first problem with Haru concept as a selling point, is that this area isn't really catered to for people to buy things, right? If you notice, we have the clothing rack here, but like as you sit down, it kind of takes away from you seeing all of the clothing. So in a way, it's kind of turned into an issue for us. And to be honest, something that we are working on currently is being able to sell more things on the accessory area and actually focus on selling more of the clothes. So keeping up with them being more seasonal drops, keeping up with the summer, winter. So it's kind of a whole nother part of the business is what we sell inside of here. So I think that's one thing that I want to take you guys on a journey with, on how to improvise, how do we make selling points better, how do we set up the area for better sales. So here we have our camera area. So I have to honestly either set up a better area to kind of put away electronics, like the stuff that we use to create content, so that we can make this area more of a selling point. So ideally, I'm gonna move this upstairs or move it to more of like a private cabinet area, or find a better place to get rid of, like, I guess, this electronical clutter. And yeah, ideally, we want to be able to sell things on this area as well. We wanted to have more accessories, like we want to sell small little water bottle containers, like pottery as well. So I do pottery on the side, and that's one thing I have fun with. So I want to be able to build up more of a pottery selection for people to buy. We also have hair product here from my boy Stephen J out in Canada. Amazing stuff. I love this product. And also a big one is we don't have any lighting in here. If y'all notice, like we have lighting, but it's only from like the external stuff from the wall or the stuff on the outside. But we don't really have any actual lighting that is within this place. So it kind of turns into a problem when it comes to shooting content or even just providing a vibe. So I feel like we can do a lot better with providing a vibe in this area. So a couple improvements we're gonna make is, so table is going to be taken out and put in upstairs where we can use it as a draft slash like work area, which I think is a big part of what we do here. And then add some lighting because there's nothing here. And then we have our bev section. We have our retail. This is where we ring people up. Have this. Voila, we have a wash bowl here. So we want to bring some more lighting in this area to kind of make everything pop a lot more. And then washer and dryer. Nothing special here, y'all. Our cafe area. Yeah, that's kind of the breakdown of what Haru concept is and what we want it to be. And overall, we're super excited to bring y'all on that journey. But let's take y'all up to the loft. All right, let's take you into the loft area, which is my den slash storage right now, but check it out. This is a twin of my man's downstairs. Very similar aesthetic, but he is rocking what could be possibly the future color for ALTR Tech. And we have our zippers, we have our pockets here. We have also, one of my favorite features of this design is a hidden pocket. I love that. We have the beautiful drop shoulder here. All this has been designed by me, and it took about 2 years to get to this point where we have a final piece. Those are supposed to flare up and cover your shoelaces. And then we have a nice transition into the shape. I've been designing clothes for a little bit now, but one thing I do see a lot is shapes. I feel like I see silhouette and I see shapes very well. So I think that's kind of what my design language is. And I think that's the way I create. Even when it comes to doing hair, I see shapes very well. And I'm a very visual learner as well as a visual teacher. So I think that really helps the way I create things. And it's very similar to when it comes down to me making clothes. So let's show you this loft area. This is my work area. So I love the desk here, but ideally I want to bring the table from downstairs up here. And this is our sourcing area. So if you see here, we have this super dope Nike striped tee. I just found this. I really fuck with this. We have a couple of the pieces that we're sourcing to put inside of Haru closet, which is downstairs. And then we have our pottery area. These are some pieces that I've worked on. My my last L per se, but I'm actually not mad at it. Maybe put some jewelry in there or something. Haru is kind of a fan. But yeah, this is my pottery area. You need this, shooting in dark light. Also been adding a lot more light, and that's been a big, important part of the videos I'm shooting right now. Lighting is huge. And we have our beautiful pottery wheel. And this brings me to my current value point today is make sure you're taking the time to do other creative things for you. For me, it really comes down to whether I'm doing pottery or designing or making things outside of hair, because I think it fuels my love for hair. I think that's one thing I've noticed over the last couple of years that has helped me get better at my craft has been learning other things that inspire me. And those inspirations kind of come into my thought process when I'm doing hair, or if I see a certain thing that inspires me a certain kind of way, I really like to bring it into the things that I do on a daily basis. So design, interior design, and pottery, anything that I can create kind of begins to add more value to my creative process. So that's a little bit about my space. And let's take you down to some altar projects. So today's project, well, actually, this is next season's project. So this is an early look into our next top that we're gonna make. I can't tell you exactly what it's gonna be, but I wanna break down to you what a pattern is. So I'm gonna show you some close-ups here. So patterns are basically what we use to create a garment. So if you look at a t-shirt or a pair of pants or anything that you can see clothing wise, there's always like seams and a lot of like stitching and things of that nature. So these are basically the template or the blueprint, you can say, to creating the piece. So one thing that happens before this, I design it, I draw it, I send it over to my boy Chris, and he kind of puts it together. I also have a couple other pattern makers that I work with, so depending on what I want to make. But this has been a project that I'm working on for next fall. So everything is kind of a year ahead of its time. So it takes about 3 to 6 months sometimes to manufacture something, whether it's going from sample process to finding materials to sending it out to the people to actually make the garment. So we'll talk more about the process of how our things are made when it's a specific day that I'm gonna go and talk to these people so I can give you better insight. But the pattern is basically the template to the garment. And before this comes the design process. And there's a lot of things in between that kind of get tricky when it comes to making clothes, but I feel like this has been an integral part is learning what these are, how to use them, and how to make the most of your design process. And it helps you save a lot of money too. So the more you know, the easier your process can be. Also, I didn't even touch on this, but this table is designed by us as well. Okay, that is all. So these are patterns. If you guys see these points as well, right? These are all what we call our seam lines. So you technically fold here when you want to stitch certain lines. These are all part of like my pockets. This is like the actual, like the garment itself, you know, so a lot goes on within this process. This is our sneak peek to our t-shirt materials, right? Yeah, we've been taking our time on this to make sure that we have the best possible product for you guys. So now you guys have a little bit of a breakdown of what Haru concept is and what I want to achieve with it. Of course, I'm going to keep giving you guys more insight on what we're doing as we're doing it, but the value points really are coming down to making sure that your space is kind of built out to be as functional as possible with sales and just overall client comfortability. I think those are really big. And I think really just going taking the time to learn the process and really just learn the ins and outs of whether it's the product, your business, things that can make everything a lot better. And for me today is going to be a big mixture of just locking in. I'm going to be on my computer, really just kind of trying to plan out the best possible way. What's up? All right, so Haru just said just cut it short, bro, and keep it pushing. All right, y'all. See you later. This meeting. No, a whole Sony A7 III as well. I don't know if you have a structure in the way like these calls should go, so we can kind of cover as much as we can.
And I'm gonna present to you the things that I have been working on, and also the things that need to be approved, or like
either it gets to the point where I do it weekly or we do it bi-weekly, you know.
yeah. So these are the fonts that we will use. So for the titles and subtitles,
so it's more of a more playful logo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then this one.
Even for me, like I said, like I've even like growing the team is one thing, but I think winning with your team and being able to have a team to win with, like that's what I've always wanted to have a team, you know. So like I said, you guys are all like, you guys have been great since the second I met you guys, you know. Thank you so much. Let's go, let's get it. always. Bye, take care. That wraps up a busy week after getting back from my trip. So I've just been resetting all week and kind of just getting back to a good flow. Honestly, this week has been well, mostly today felt like a very emotional roller coaster. Lots of ups, lots of downs, very kind of excited about where the brand's going and where Haru and also the people are going. And honestly, the building of a team, as you guys seen today, just hopped off a very important meeting with my brand strategist and also our assistant that'll be kind of helping us getting everything going. But yeah, it's definitely been overwhelming as well. The feeling of almost my problems and my goals being bigger than me. And sometimes I just feel overwhelmed and it's just kind of hard to grasp what I need to do. And I get anxiety by looking at the task list of stuff that I have to accomplish within the time frame I'm given, or even within like the week or whatever. But honestly, one thing is I just pray and I kind of don't let my problems be bigger than God and not let them be bigger than what I can handle. And even just using my support system around me, my family, my friends. So today I actually ended up at my fam's house because I just felt like I needed to separate myself a little bit from the busyness of LA and kind of just get in a clear mind state where I can organize myself and just storyboard and kind of like put all my ideas onto one piece of paper. I'm a writing person, so I really enjoy that instead of kind of writing stuff down on like apps or things of that nature. But yeah, a very, very important week, and overall feel way better now, feel more organized. I went through my day and organized all my goals and things that I kind of have to achieve within this next week, so definitely helped me a lot. Well, yeah, guys, we'll see y'all next week.